This is FNN, where you get facts, not nonsense. Okay, so today, my storyline, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who has been part of a few recent controversies as of late, said these strikes were just the start of the plan against the strike by Iranian groups, most notably the Houthis, that killed 3. The strike happened last Sunday. It killed 3 U.S. service members and injured many more. And the U.S. struck back at places in Iraq and Syria to kind of help do it. Now, they don't want to turn this into a full-grown war. Russia has asked for a National Security Council meeting on how to handle this, and Lloyd Austin did add, we do not see conflict in the Middle East or anywhere else, but the president and I will not tolerate attacks on American forces, and the Houthis, the U.S., and other military groups are now trading airstrikes, the drones. There have been stuff intercepted, but the U.S.'s one rule is they do not want war to spur from this. Okay, so election 2024 updates, a bit of a sparse slide today, but Republican and Democratic South Carolina primary poll, Republican poll that came out earlier this week had had Donald Trump at 58% and Nikki Haley at 32%. So we haven't talked about the election in a while on here, but it looks like Trump is still doing it. Although in the recent FEC filing, Nikki Haley came out and actually she has a lot of money in the tank. She can run well for Super Tuesday, keep her name on the ballot and stuff. And then on the Democratic side, which is the second poll down, Joe Biden has 69% of the vote over Dean Phillips with 5, who actually did quite well in New Hampshire, and Marianne Williamson with 3. For Democrats, this is the first official primary. Vice President Kamala Harris has been campaigning in South Carolina for a while ahead of today's Democratic primary. Joe Biden is well expected to win, but today, Saturday, is the first official after some disputes between Democrats and New Hampshire. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in South Carolina attempting to get the African American vote out, more so in the general election, because there is a large percentage of these voters that say that they will not be turning out, and that could really affect the Biden and Harris campaign, whose whole thing was kind of started by the fact that Jim Clyburn endorsed Biden 2 days before the South Carolina primary and pretty much helped him win. Okay, so we got 8 days until the Super Bowl. This is your sports roundup. So that's the number one thing. USC freshman Juju Watkins scored 51 points against Stanford. She's a freshman. Second most points scored in Pac-12 history by a woman, and that was very significant. The story behind this: she's working out in the gym Sunday night after another loss, and the security guard called her coach and was like, "Do you want us to excuse Juju from the gym?" And the coach said no, and that's the result of hard work. And Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton has made the switch to move to Ferrari on a relatively quiet soccer transfer deadline day, which is more or less trades, except it's exchanged for money. There was actually a Formula One transfer, which is a racing series, and Lewis Hamilton, arguably the greatest driver in the sports history, has moved to Ferrari for 2025. All right, so U.S. temperatures and some precipitation. So the U.S. high temperatures today, there's actually a pretty good band of cold air coming in down through the Rockies. We saw you can see temperatures even down in the 20s and 30s. Snowing today in places like Boise, a lot, and then up north, but it's warmer. It's not too warm. Warmest temperatures in the U.S. are in the 70s today, and tomorrow we should kind of see a very similar trendy pattern, a bit cooler in the Northeast, kind of consistent. It's probably going to be a bit warmer out in the Midwest, as there's kind of a band of warmer air coming out. But and then precipitation through Wednesday for the West Coast. There is a second part of an atmospheric river storm that is coming. We could see in concentrated areas, even in LA, 5 to 8 inches of rain. There's going to be a lot. You could see up to 5 to 6 feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains, which, even over there isn't a ton, but that's still pretty large, and you should see snow across most of the Rockies and as you go north of California and Nevada and west. This has been FNM, where we get facts, not nonsense. Thank you for watching.